Hey everyone, it's Anthony Ramos from GLAAD. Jim, if I may start with you, I'm curious, what were some of your own experiences with self-acceptance, with coming out? Did you draw from in order to tell Michael's story authentically?
Yeah, it was an interesting process going through this role and spending so much time with it. I realized the many, I feel like I've dealt with a much more subtle form of homophobia during my lifetime than these men did. And that's an obvious statement in many ways. But what wasn't so obvious to me was how much I had pushed down. And we've been talking today of these little stolen moments that were put into the film that couldn't be in the play, of sideways glances from people at certain gay characters and stuff that we've got in this movie. And that was stuff that still happened to a young me in Texas in the 80s and things like that. And I don't know, it's unearthed some things for me that is ultimately very good for me to take ownership of and forgive myself for any ways in which I didn't represent myself proudly enough at the time. I was who I was and had fears, and I'm still growing and learning.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Brian, if I can hop over to you, same question, I think with your character, obviously he's struggling to, with acceptance. And for you, what were some of the things that you went through when it came to, self-discovery, self-acceptance, and coming out that you drew from in order to, tell that story?
Well, I mean, I think I came to terms with things maybe earlier than Alan did, but I mean, a similar trajectory in some ways. It was very difficult, I think, for a while, and very difficult going through it. And, it's just amazing to come out on the other side, because some people I talked to early on said, this is going to make you feel better. You're going to feel more yourself. Everything is going to fall into place. And I don't know if I believed that, and certainly didn't feel like that immediately. But over time, I've realized this is who I am. I am proud. I'm glad I'm gay. And, I think it's one of life's great gifts. And I think it's made me more compassionate and more empathetic. And, to get to work with these guys and understand all their stories and where they come from has been, one of the best experiences of my life and career. So I understand Alan, and I do have compassion and empathy for him, even though he's not the most likable guy and, sort of a buzzkill at the party. But, it's not without something underneath that, which is a desire to connect or desire to understand more about himself and the guys here at the party.
Thank you for sharing. Michael, I think with this story, it also brings up that there are even varying levels of acceptance within our own community. Some people are more comfortable than others. What did kind of, this whole story, going through it on stage and then again on film, what did you learn from it all?
I learned that we're extraordinarily blessed, lucky, privileged in a way that I don't know if we fully understand. And it's important to tell stories like this, to take a glimpse back 50 years, see that we aren't as far in certain respects, but how many great strides that we have made because of self-discovery, because of friendships, because of tethering ourselves to people that aren't easy relationships, that you do have to decide if you're going to come back again to tomorrow. But those are the things that build character. Those are the things that build relationships that most gay men, most straight men, most trans people know. It's a universal experience, whether it was on stage for those 800 people or now rolling out to a global market. There's some places in this world that it's still 1968, and they're looking for a survival mechanism of how to get through it. And it's always going to go back to the family that you've created.
Chosen family. Jim, what does it mean for you to be a part of keeping the boys in the band legacy alive and making it more accessible to so many more people now that Ryan Murphy has it on Netflix?
It's turned into meaning something more to me than I ever suspected it would, to be honest with you. I didn't know the play before we started doing it. I'd heard of it, but I just didn't know it. And I really became a part of it because I was excited to work with so many of the people involved. And I was thrilled to get to take a crack at playing this character. But it's only been through the process and talking to people and just going through it that I have really enjoyed feeling a part of an important piece of theatrical history, an important piece of LGBTQ plus history. And with the passing of Mart this year, this really strong feeling of carrying on this beautiful work that he really laid his life out for to put on the page.
Well, thank you so much for making the project again. And also thank you so much for sharing. We really appreciate it. Have a great one.